A woman is going to have a baby. They wait on the border. Just before the baby, they come over to the border. They have the baby in the United States. We now take care of that baby, Social Security, Medicare, education. Give me a break. It doesn't work that way. The parents have to come in legally.
Donald Trump taking on the issue of birthright citizenship. The Republican frontrunner pushed immigration proposals this week that include ending automatic citizenship for children born to parents here illegally, as well as deporting the 11 million undocumented immigrants already here. So, Joe, birthright citizenship, you've looked at that issue and the legal history of it. Donald Trump says it's unconstitutional. Or what do you think?
I think he's promoting a crank theory of the Constitution that has absolutely no basis.
This is in the 14th Amendment.
This is the 14th Amendment. It says anyone born...
Civil War era amendment.
Civil War era, necessary to include black former slaves as part of American politics. It said anyone born on U.S. soil, subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, shall be a U.S. citizen. It doesn't matter about their genetic heritage. It doesn't matter about the circumstances of their birth. It says anyone born on U.S. soil is a U.S. citizen.
And there was a Supreme Court decision in the late 19th century,
1898,
involving a Chinese immigrant.
San Francisco-born Chinese descent raised exactly this issue. It's well settled as a matter of Supreme Court precedent. It's well settled as a matter of just the plain reading of the text. And there's sort of the restrictionists are coming out and saying, well, subject to the jurisdiction means that if an illegal alien is here in America, they have a kid, they're not subject to the jurisdiction. This is crazy. They're essentially saying if an immigrant commits a crime, they cannot be prosecuted for it.
James, but nonetheless, all the Republicans are getting behind Trump on this in some form or fashion. Smart politics?
I hope not. I think it's refreshing to see Chris Christie say that really the problem here is lawlessness, not immigration. Let's address lawlessness. Let's enforce our immigration laws. But let's realize Trump is doing horrible cost-benefit analysis. All he's looking at are costs. He talks about public schools. He's not looking at the resource that more people bring us when they work, when they produce, when they create. You can go to Silicon Valley and look at all of the immigrants doing great things in technology, but even in terms of Mexican immigration, I know people are focused on that, South American immigration. There are jobs here in the United States. There are Western growers who will pay $17 an hour. They can't find anyone to do the work. People want to come here, they want to work. That's what we need.
But birthright citizenship is something that is really just a symbolic issue. It's not, I mean, it doesn't really involve all that many immigrants, really. And besides, if you need to have a constitutional amendment to overturn it, that's not going to happen. I mean, that's
unrealistic. It's not going to happen, and it's also the wrong approach. We have a president who will not enforce the law. The solution is not to write more laws. It's to elect a president who will enforce the law, and you may see this issue kind of cool down once that happens.
What about the deportation issue, Kim? That hasn't had as many of the other Republican candidates get behind it, but this idea that everyone who is in the United States illegally would have to be deported. Now, Trump has said he's backtracked a little bit since his first announcement on it, saying, well, they would have to go back, touch down, and then the good ones, as he put it, would be able to come back. I'm not so sure how he'd sort the good from the bad there, but the point being that he's still saying we'd have to put them basically on buses and send them back over the border. Is that realistic politically either?
No, but I think we're beginning to get to see what the real effect of Donald Trump in this race is going to be. It still seems unlikely that he might win the nomination, but the question is, how many positions is he going to push Republicans into unfeasible positions by the time he exits this race? And the deportation thing is an excellent example of that. You know, the idea of them all going on record, and they haven't all, they have been a little bit more nuanced than they have on birthright citizenship, and rounding up 11 million people and somehow shipping shipping them out. The cost of that would be enormous. The logistics of it would be practically impossible. It sounds good. It's symbolic the way that you mentioned that birthright citizenship is, but it's not necessarily a practical policy, nor is it a way forward on immigration reform.
And do you think that how big a problem do you think it is, Kim, briefly, for the Republicans following Trump down, or is this just something that they'll be able to get away from if some of them endorse it during the campaign?
I don't think it's ever good when Republicans are going on record as rounding up babies to put them on buses and send them back over the border.
All right. Still ahead, as students across the country head back to campus, a look at the skyrocketing cost of college tuition. It's a hot topic on the campaign trail as the Democratic candidates make a play for millennial voters. But will their plans really make that degree more affordable?